Diane, this is Dr. Jester, and I wanted to take a few moments and go over your Topic 3 assignment, a portfolio component about modern Islam. So I wanted to go over some details here. One of the major aspects of this document that you have produced is there's a lot of, it's kind of disjointed because you have a lot of uncertain sentences, and the way you've structured this, you're writing a lot of incomplete sentences. So, for example, this sentence right here that I've highlighted says, some of their primary beliefs and the significant application of their faith. There is no verb there. There's no word that gives that sentence any action. So, primary beliefs, application of their faith. What's the action that's involved here? You use the word it a lot when there's nothing prior to that. There's no antecedent that provides that with Scripture. There's no other noun that you would use this program for. You have the same thing up here, it, in reference to what? You don't really give any kind of details there. So you need to make sure when you're writing, go back and read through what you've written. That way, when you read out loud, you're going to catch these mistakes. You'll catch these incomplete sentences. When you're writing them, it doesn't come out. But when you read it out loud, and when another person is reading it, they will catch these. Now, for another reader, this portfolio, you're putting this together, and at some point you're going to use this as a tool to inform other people about other religions. So you hand this to someone, you have to think of what it sounds like to them. And when they start reading this, if there's a lot of confusion about the way the sentence is structured, if there's not action in a sentence, which means it's an incomplete sentence, or if there's action but no subject, we don't know who's doing the action. So a reader is going to get really confused. In the very beginning, they're going to put your document down. They're not going to read anything else. They want to read a document that logically develops. They can understand it. So you got to read these things out loud to give you the central idea of what your paper sounds like. So looking at this in the background in particular is focusing upon Muhammad, how this was developed through him. I've got this sentence highlighted because it's just thrown in there completely out of place. There's no indication of what this is, what it's for, etc. So again, I'm encouraging you, read these things out loud. And when you read out loud, that's when you're going to catch all your mistakes. Then again, you've got no beginning quote. You've got an end quotation, nothing in front of it. I don't know where this starts. I have no clue. Here, misplaced periods. Period comes before the footnote. Footnote always follows after the period. And the period should always be inside the quotation mark, never on the outside. This right here is incorrect. You're citing chapter 7 in Christianity at the Religious Roundtable. That's not the way you cite a source. You cite a source by giving the author's name, the title of the source, whether that's a book or if that's a journal article. If it's a book, it's the title of the book, the place of publication, the date of publication, the page number that you cited the source from. So this is incorrect. That's not the correct way to cite. More incomplete sentences. Nearly all of this is highlighted as incomplete sentences. And this right down here, you're starting to talk about doctrine, and then you go back down here to talk about history again, which is out of sequence. So that again is going to cause your readers some confusion. So the biggest majority here is just some typical errors. Now, one of the things that you have not discussed in here, you really completely miss out on discussing some of the worldview questions, how Islam views creation, human purpose and destiny, anything having to do with sin and the solution of it. But one of the most important omissions is that you do not discuss the 5 pillars, the 5 practices. These are all important items in Islam. And every Muslim is going to make the confession of faith. That's one of the most important things. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. The prayer 5 times a day, almsgiving, pilgrimage to Mecca, etc. So you should have discussed some of that. You did not. And then another big omission is you did this on the last paper you submitted. There's no title page with your name on it. So other than the fact that I pulled this down from where you submitted it, which let me know it was your submission, there's no title page. That's a 10% penalty from this point forward. So you got to make sure you cover those bases. All right? I know this sounds like a lot of negativity. The biggest problem here is I think you're writing this very fast, trying to get it submitted, and you're not going back through and reading this over and over again to yourself so it makes sense. If you read it where it makes sense out loud, you're going to catch all these errors, okay? Blessings on you. I'm rooting for you, and I believe in you. It's just a matter of helping you get this thing sequentially and logically developed, okay? Blessings.